jump to something.
Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q Radio, right across from the Meteor Crater. And look who I have in the studio today, Dave Wheeler Wheels, and that's because it's City Council Agenda Review Day. That's right, we're here again, believe it or not, and we'll be back next week if Dave can make it, because we have the capital budget coming down next Tuesday, and we got to get in here on the Monday and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one to study up on.
It's going to be crazy.
Dude, start to look at this stuff in the morning, everyone, if you want to look at it. Last night, I even opened up this agenda, and I got bogged down, and it was sleep-inducing. So if you're having trouble sleeping, get into some of this stuff. But if you want to be more aware of it, start in the morning, and then your curiosity is sharpened so you can get past the snooze that it causes.
Yeah, you really got to work your way through all this stuff. It's really something else when you get down to it. I'm just checking your mic here because I'm not hearing it too well in here, but it's coming up on the board, so we're okay.
Is this even on this one?
Oh, yeah, they're on. Well, this one you don't have to worry about. That one's for the video.
Okay.
They're flawless. It's this baby that's always a wacky thing, but it seems to be coming through. Just give us a test.
La 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 la. My operatic voice.
Yeah, you're coming through. It's coming through. It's not the best, but it's coming through. Okay, we should be able to get it done. So before we get into the agenda, let me talk about my sponsors: Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamill Machine Company. Now, we see the weather. You know what's coming. Be proactive. Get your car into Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Let Ken put your car on his diagnostic equipment. Let him check it out. Make sure all systems are go. You don't want to break down in the winter. When it's cold and miserable, that's the last day you want to be stuck on the side of the road waiting for CAA. Get your car in there. He'll make sure it's safe. He'll make sure your heaters are working, your defrosters are working, your brakes, everything's working right. That's what you want. You don't want to get stuck. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive next to the Kia dealership. He has a full body shop there as well. So if you get in a wreck, get your car there. He'll take it in, fix it, get it back to you in showroom condition. You cannot lose when you go to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. While you're there, jump over to YouTube, look for Paul Lemire 4179 or something like that. And
yeah, something like that.
And you'll find my channel 4790 through 43 or 4173. I don't know. Anyway, look for Paul Lemire, Your City, Your Voice. Subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments. Come on, get involved. We have an election coming up in a year. We have the budget coming out in a few weeks. Let's get involved here. Come on. It's your money they're spending. If you don't want to get involved and you don't give a damn, what the hell am I doing here? I'm trying to help you. Subscribe and listen to the show. Okay. This shouldn't be a very long meeting, Davey boy. There's only one planning thing. There's only one planning thing. A lot of house cleaning before the big budget meeting on November 25th. Final meeting of the year is December 9th. That came fast.
Sure did. That was a quick year.
Yeah, it was a quick year. So December 9th is the last one. They'll finalize the capital budget if everything goes right. And they'll get ready for the operations budget coming towards the third week of January 2026. And we will be here for that, God willing.
That's right. Well, time's going so fast, I'm already buying my Christmas cards for 2026.
It's crazy.
Yes,
it's crazy. Along. So we have "O Canada" being sung by one Ilya Williams. Congratulations to her. Now, I'm going to say her. It sounds like a her to me, but I don't know. We're doing the honors this week, and we move
Is
right
it
into
Lila
planning.
Or Ilya?
It looks like Ilya. Iyla.
Oh.
Ilya.
Well, what I got is just two L's or two I's that look the same.
Oh, okay. And I thought it was Ilya. Sorry if we don't get your name right, but congratulations, because
Iyla, maybe?
Ilya, whatever. Ilya. But whatever it
Ms.
is,
Wilson, Ms. Williams,
Miss Williams. It could be a Mrs. Williams. Who knows?
Yeah,
But regardless, thank you for doing the honors this week. It's always great to see people up there from the city singing a cappella in front of City Council and the rest of the gallery. And then we move into planning matters after the mayor does his doodah dance, because he's always got things he's going to talk about, like the Christmas parade and awards and openings, and he goes through a bunch of stuff. And then we get into the actual meeting, and there's a couple of people talking about several different things there, and you can listen to them, but they're not really relevant to the business part of the meeting as much as what we're going to get into ahead of this right here as we move along. Okay, so item 7.1 is the first one I have. And it's an applicant that wishes to construct additions on each of the existing 2.5-story apartment buildings on Portage Road across from the Sobeys Plaza. That's your area, Dave. That's your part of the hood when you grew up.
Yeah, that's right. I was up there. Went to Ann Meyer. Yep. That was my stomping grounds for sure.
So they're back in the hood, and they want to construct a new 12-story apartment building on the land.
They still close the doors and shut off the lights as I walk by.
Yeah. It's been approved by city planners and staff. This would take from 49 existing units to 202 units total, and they want to expand the existing apartment buildings that are there. There's 49 units there. They want to go up with them, and they want to build a 12-story one. And I tried to print off the rendition they had because it's very, very nice. It also includes 3828 St. Peter Avenue. And I think that may be an egress from the building, because you know what Portage Road is like by Portage and Thoroldstone, how busy it is. I don't know how people are going to get in and out of this. It's a nightmare down there now with the traffic. And you're going to throw in another 150 some units. That's 300 cars, maybe.
Yeah, access looks like it's going to come from St. Peter's, which is tees into Portage Road there, right by Stanford Estates, wherever that, the old people's place there.
Yeah.
And of course, there's that big opening across from it where the Lions Club used to be.
Mm-hmm.
That area there. So they have a repurposed Masonic Lodge there. I know that, right? And how they're going to add and subtract to the buildings that are already there. I try to look at the plans too, and I was trying to, it wasn't very clear to me. Sometimes when you get these plans, you can see exactly what they're doing. But this one, they kind of give you the finished product, what it kind of looks like, but a lot of those things are missing. Where are they going to come in from? Whatever. They had 24 people come to the meeting, plus another 1 or 2 online to ask questions about how much more traffic there's going to be, or how much it's going to concentrate the population there. We find that the city council or the city staff has approved it or recommending approval because it follows Ontario's new density type of housing, get more in, particularly in areas that are well serviced by transport. There's bus lines there. There's grocery shopping there. There's plazas there, all of that. So that's exactly the kind of place they want to have higher intensity housing. But on the other hand, you are making a concrete jungle, in my estimation, right? If you keep making allowances for less open space, less frontal space, less parking, you're just going to get another big pile of concrete jungles. And I'm not so sure that it serves everybody well.
Well, the problem is out there, number one, the traffic is deplorable. You can wait at 5 corners during busy times for 2 lights before you can get through it. And that's because what you've got within a half a mile of where they want to do this build, and they are looking for a lot of variances to be able to build it. You've got 5 apartment buildings, right? The 2 on Huggins Street, the 2 big ones. Then you got 2 on Portage Road, just 500 feet down the road. And across the street, you got an apartment building in Stanford Estates. So you got 5 or 6 apartment buildings.
And what's going to come on the old Stanford Lions?
That's right. That's supposed to be another high density build. And then you've got 5 sets of traffic lights All buildings eventually emptying onto Portage Road and in the three plazas, the Sobeys Plaza, Town and Country, and the other plaza. So you've got a lot of stuff emptying on the Portage Road in that area. And during busy times, like I said, sometimes you can wait at those lights. You can't get through them. And of course, you got banks and everything out there as well. Now,
Plus,
I think,
plus the kind of characters that hang around there.
yeah, I think you got to build a median right down Portage Road, down the middle of it, to prevent left-hand turns if you're going to start trying to do even more there. And we've seen this on a lot of our streets where they've approved these buildings, just approved, but they don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. So it's going to be crazy, and it's going to add to the gridlock that's already there. I try to avoid that area personally because it's just too nuts for me. And people are in and out and changing lanes and cutting across and trying to beat lights and everything. I don't see anything about attainable, affordable housing units included with this bill. Did you?
No, I did not.
I was wondering if I just missed it or not.
No, I did not see it. If it's there, I'd like to know that it's there or somehow omitted accidentally, but nothing like that.
I never saw it mentioned, and I don't know what they charge now for the existing units, but the developer said that the people who live there now will not have to be moved out for them to do the build. So I don't know how they're going to accomplish it all, but they seem to be able to.
Well, sometimes buildings are built with possibility of adding an extension on top. So they've got all the engineering done ahead of time, so they can actually put another few floors on top of what they already have. We found that a long time ago in houses in Scarborough. For one reason, they would build them small with only one level until the family got more flush, and then the roof was designed to be lifted off of them and another floor put on.
There you go. Pre-designed. So the public had concerns with the height, density, nature of the proposed commercial use, parking, and the preservation of green spaces and setbacks. A lot of probably people were from St. Peter Avenue because this behemoth is going to be right behind them. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the residents of the existing parking or apartment buildings there want to know, are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? How's it going to affect us? They're concerned as well. So they seem to have answered all the questions. They seem to have taken all their concerns, mitigated them. They've come up with solutions, and all the concessions being asked for regarding setbacks, height, landscaping, parking. These things are always an issue, and they're always approved. It lies within walking distance, like you said, of bus stops and other amenities. I don't think I couldn't tell if there was an egress on the St. Peter Avenue, but you saw it, so you know it's going to be there, and that's what makes sense.
Yeah, they probably have purchased a property in there to get that egress. Although I couldn't see it clearly because it's mentioned St. Peter's, so I'm wondering,
Well, the 3828 that's part of this thing, so yeah. I think that's okay. So
you get some pretty nice little houses in there, and some really tiny ones too.
They're nice. They're quaint, old. But I don't see any reason why council would turn this down. I mean, I think you're going to have a few people in the audience speaking to it, and they're going to do the regular dance of, shade and gardens and traffic and all the regular stuff that we hear all the time. But unfortunately, if the planners in our city council say they recommend approving it, council's got to go against them, and then the developer goes to the OLT, and he wins his case and builds it anyway. And it costs the city money.
Yeah. One of the big concerns was, how is this going to affect the neighborhood as construction carries on? So that was one of their big concerns.
Yeah, right. The rumbling from the machines and that, that kind of thing.
When you get older houses like that, believe me, you can crack your foundations. Your foundations can get cracked and all that. And it's pretty hard to say, hey, look, I got this crack in my foundation ever since those big dump trucks come rolling by. Oh, how do we know that wasn't always there? It's an old house.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you can get cracks right up your walls, especially those old plaster houses where they have plaster, not drywall. So once that rumbling starts, there's less
Let's give.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do crack. I mean, I remember when they were digging out the hydro canal in the early 60s, that they were using dynamite to blast out all the rocks that had fallen in and clean it all out. And we had a crack in our house from it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, right? You hear the siren go off, ba-boom. Yeah, when you're a kid, right? When you're kids, they did that.
They cushioned that with big sort of blankets of rubber tires all interlocked, and then they put them on top, and then they let go of the discharge. Now
Yeah.
that sucks up a lot of the boom.
Yeah, it would be funny when you're a kid, you hear this big siren, this big whistle go off, and then all of a sudden, bo-am. It's crazy. So
Let's go
anyway,
get some of that dynamite.
I think they're going to approve this, no problem. I don't see a problem with it. They're going to approve it. And to be honest with you, it looks like a pretty nice build. I was going to bring a picture, and I tried to print it off. I couldn't. But it looked like a pretty nice build out there. So it looked like it would be nice. The proximity to the street is pretty close to the street. I mean, it's right off the street. And
how are they going to expand the street when they do that?
Well, they have the certain setbacks, but it doesn't look like it's being set back very far. Let me put it that way. Okay, unless you have something between 7.1 and 8.1, I don't even think there is anything between 7.1 and 8.1.
Yeah, I thought the same, and I'll just have a quick look here and see what I'd see. 7.1. Oh, yeah, 8, but yeah, there's nothing there.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, well, there you go. We'll see what they say, what the city council says about that. I don't think there's going to be too much discussion unless a whack of people show up in the gallery to speak. I think they're just going to okay it. And I got a feeling Rudan Holdings is right there. I wonder if they own that. I don't know. 8.1, windrow and sidewalk cleaning. If you remember, the Scrooges on city council passed a bylaw that forces people to clear their city property of snow. They own the sidewalks, but they want you to clear them for them. That's city property, remember? So if you want to take a sledgehammer and take the sidewalks out so you don't have to clear them, you might get arrested. This is not your property. As well, just after you finish shoveling and manage to avoid a heart attack, and you go in the house and say, "Oh, Dio mio, I made it." The plow comes by and fills in your driveway, and in our case, the boulevard is so narrow that it just fills in where you already shoveled the sidewalk.
Yeah, always.
Right? That you understand. So, I mean, they want me to go out there and shovel it again. Okay, well, I guess I won't have any choice, but there is a program to help people that cannot shovel themselves. An assistance program. If you qualify, they're going to provide $60,000 a year for the 2026 and 2027 to do that. So somebody's going to come down and they're going to clean your sidewalk for you in your windrow.
There's only 400 eligible, though. That's what kills me here.
Yeah, that's all.
How many older folk live in this town? Scads of them. We're an aging population.
Well, only 400 qualify.
What do you got to be, 95?
I don't know, but you got to have low income and everything else, I think. So you can't afford to hire somebody yourself. I guess they expect you to hire someone.
You got to be ancient and poor.
Ancient and poor. That's always a good thing. That's how they like to keep you. Now, they're going to provide $60,000 a year for those 2 years. Now, I say F them. Oh, did I say that? We pay taxes and have sidewalk plows. Just clear all city streets.
F for feasibility.
Yes.
F for feasibility.
This program is going to be a logistical nightmare to roll out. There are 3 options and none of them make sense. I would recommend council just forget about the whole thing. They say that in the winter, they estimate there are 10 events that exceed their 8 centimeter snowfall where sidewalks have to be shoveled. An estimate $30 per event to have to call in someone to clear the sidewalks and windows and windrows. I would like them to actually, to be honest with you, I would like them to offer it to anybody who's willing to pay. I mean, I would pay $30 for them to come shovel my driveway and do my windrow for me.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I would pay that if that's what they're thinking, $30 a shot. I would pay that because I don't want to go out there and shovel it. I do, but I don't really care to.
That's a good thing. You can get a lot of part-time staff on in the winter. Got a lot of part-time guys in the city from time to time when they're waiting to move up and get into the regular crews and so on. Maybe that'd be something for them to do.
This fly's been bothering me for 2 weeks. How long do flies live? I thought they only lived a week.
Well, I guess they like you, and they maybe
Yeah.
a long-lived fly. That could be a multi-generational nuisance you got going on there.
Well, people
It
have
could
said
be his grandson.
people have said I'm full of it, so there you go, right?
I did see it hovering around your head there.
Yeah. Oh, my eyes are brown. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wish they would offer it to people and say, if you want it, you can pay, and I'll pay someone $30 to do it every
that'd
time,
be fine.
10 times a year, whatever. To me, I think it's just going to be a nightmare to deal with. They're going to have to go down the street and pick out this guy qualifies, that guy qualifies. The time it's going to take, you may have to go to a street where there's two people, and that. I mean, by the time they just fool around with that, the plow can go around my street in like 2 minutes. It really wouldn't take long, and that's it. They're all done. So I don't know. We'll see what everybody says about it. I know they've already said they're going to pass a bylaw. They already have that you have to shovel your sidewalk, and there's not much we can do about it. We already cut the lawn on their property without charging them. Now we got to shovel their sidewalk. Next thing, we'll be shoveling the road. Everybody has to shovel their half of the road in front of their house.
Good idea. What a budget thing that we can do. We can reduce city expenditures.
Yeah, on plows. Yeah, we won't send any plows.
Everybody's responsible for the road in front of them.
Yeah, out to halfway in the road, to the halfway point of the road in front of your house for 60 feet, in my case, something like that. You have to shovel that. Then the plows don't have to come around.
There we go. We save a lot of money.
Save a ton of money on winter maintenance. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But, they're going to pass all this, and then good luck. I got to see how they do it, because, I don't know, it seems to me like a logistical nightmare to just pick 400 people out of all the people in Niagara Falls, all the neighborhoods in Niagara Falls, and send people out there just to do those driveways and sidewalks with them, windrows and sidewalks.
You should incentivize kids to go out there with shovels and snow blowers and things like that.
Can't. Good idea, but the union wouldn't let it.
Oh, yeah.
City union, they wouldn't let that. Oh, we should have our guys out there. If you want to do that, we got to hire people for $70,000 a year to go out there and shovel. We can't hire kids and help them out, or convicts or homeless or whatever.
Yeah. Anybody that's ineligible, though, you can probably, I'm just putting it out there. High school kids or something want to make some coin.
Yeah.
During the wintertime, they get a bunch of their buddies together, shovels. And we did that as scouts. When we did it as scouts, we went around at a snowfall. Everybody grabbed their shovels. There'd be about a dozen of us. And man, you can really kill a driveway real quick with a dozen young guys.
Oh, yeah.
With
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Geez, I do my driveway. I did it when we had the last snow. It took me maybe half an hour at most. I mean, there wasn't a heck of a lot, but still, it's got to be done. And it took me about a half an hour, not even that, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour to scoop it all off. So, yeah, you get a couple kids out there, big, young, strapping high school kids, they get knocked that off in no time.
Yeah, it would be their hard to break a sweat, man.
And it would be hours for their school.
Exactly.
Yes, community hours.
Exactly, community hours.
Yeah, our community hours were spent over the river. Item 9.1. See anything else after 8.1 that you want to talk about? Did you have anything written down? No? I didn't see anything.
Fighting you going to 8.3?
No, I never talked about 8.3. I didn't.
Well, I just like to put it out there. Fighting delays and building faster. There's a resistance going on with the Bill 60, build faster, better type of thing. And what basically they're doing here is trying to rectify or come to some sort of compromise between Bill 60 and the needs of the local government. So whatever Bill 60 does, it has overlaps inside of municipal government. And it's kind of interesting, if I could bring up the article here. So what they want to do basically to speed things up is to reduce regulations on building transit, Construction Act, environmental protection, development charges, GOATS transit train, Highway Traffic Act, Local Road Boards, Municipal Act, Ontario Water Resources, Photo Card Act. I don't know how that got in there. Planning Act, Public Transport and Highway Improvement, Toronto Waterfront, Towing Safety, blah, 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 blah. So basically, what the Ford government is trying to do is reduce all the impediments to building faster and better by these particular statutes that we have. Now, what our own government here is saying, some of these apply to us and some don't. And wait a minute, what about this one? Wait a minute, what about that one? How does that interfere with us, or how does this benefit us? So it's a kind of a good read. Basically, it just goes through that. It goes point by point. What's good for us? What's bad for us? What kind of variances of these rules do we need? Because it's a sort of a panoramic type of rules to speed things up, and they don't always fit with the municipal planning and all that. So it's a good little read to figure out, and it tells you that your politicians are working in a sense when they look at stuff like that and they say, well, hey, wait a minute, a lot of it sounds good, but no,
it doesn't work for us. Yeah. Okay, let's get to 9.1, and this is what I want to spend a few minutes on here. The 2024 budget to actual variance, and a lot of people are saying, well, why do you want to talk about 2024? It's already gone by, it's done. Why even look at it? Well, the whole thing was really a nightmare to get through. It's very, very, there's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of pages. I spent hours on it, and I still never got through it all. But I got kind of a feeling for how our staff, our CAO and our finance director and everybody else, department heads, how they operate the budget. And it's really important that you understand their way of thinking, because you're going to get a lot of different municipalities with different staffs who deal with their budget differently. So when you read through all this and go through it, you find a lot of little nuggets, but you also get a feeling for their mentality when they're preparing the budget. So what's happened in the past, you can use as kind of a guide to what they're going to do and why they're doing things. So if you look at it from that perspective, the past, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I did find one interesting item on the overall revenue and expense summary. And I believe that entry is what we received from Cogeco for the Niagara Regional Broadband Network. Now, I've been talking about this on my show for a couple of years. We own Niagara Regional Broadband. We sold it to Cogeco, and we never did get a number for what it was worth. Now, I calculated the number on my own end from what Niagara on the Lake said their payment was. They own 25% of Niagara Regional Broadband. We own 75%. They got $15 million. We should get somewhere around $45 million. And when I found the number in there, and it didn't say it was from that, so I'm just taking for granted that Niagara Falls all of a sudden just didn't have a $40 million revenue stream come in with no explanation. So I got to figure that's got to be it. And the number, it's called the actual income from investments, was $62,965, which to me was the money from the sale of the Niagara Regional Broadband. It fits in with the way I was thinking about what it should be. So it looks like that's what it is. Now, we know they already spent $22 million of it because we saw that in another city council meeting, that expenditure. So there's $21 million left over. Now, for 2024 year, the operating surplus, including the money from the Niagara Regional Broadband sale, was $50 million. That's the extra money they had. So you have to ask the question, why did we get a 5% tax increase in 2025? So why did we? Now, on another page, it shows the city has $175,502,489.72 in city reserve funds. And of that, 76 million can be used for capital expenditures. And that's like giving us a tax break so we get a zero increase. So we have to ask, why are we getting tax increases? And when you look through all these pages, there are very few deficits, a lot of surpluses, which is good for the city, but bad for taxpayers, because at the end of the day, we would like to see this much revenue come in, this much expenses for a zero. We don't owe anything. They don't owe anything. It balances out perfect. That's called a balanced budget. But we never get that. So when they're saying things are going to cost this much and they come in lower, that's good for the city, but it's not good for the taxpayers because we want to have our taxes at zero if possible.
Now, here's something you might want to know before you go on.
Okay.
It says here, when I looked at it, AI review, $16.9 million for the sale of the Niagara Regional Broadband Network to Cogeco Connection. This amounts include 8.56 cash payment, 4.3 million estimated share in interest-bearing notes. Final amount is subject to adjustment based on the closing financial statements. So it doesn't.
Well, that's impossible because Niagara and Lake said they got 15 million and they had 25% share in it. So it's that Niagara Regional Broadband was worth way more than 15 million bucks or whatever they said there. So I don't know where you got that, but
that's AI. So
yeah,
it's not exactly infallible, is it?
Yeah, AI isn't exactly intelligent. But
I wouldn't want to play chess with it, but sometimes it's wrong.
But if anybody can argue that with me, please do, because I want to know the truth of it. But then they have to explain to me where we had we had a revenue increase of $40 million, 1,300% over on our investment account. Where did that money come from? What did they invest $3 million in that brought back 40 million? I want a part of it.
Yeah, really.
I want a part of that investment. I want to put a few million in. So whatever that says, I don't know. But if somebody can argue that with me, please do.
Hey, Honest Jim's hedge fund.
Yeah. Sounds like Nancy Pelosi returns. And when you look through, there's very few deficits. So that means that they're overestimating the cost of things and they're coming in lower. So you have a surplus. But that's not good because they're charging us 5% more because they're telling us we don't have enough revenue. So you have to kick in. So why are we kicking in if we have surpluses every year? And I think 2024 was 10 million and this year was 12 million. Last year was 10 million. So there's always a big surplus. And we see it every time we do a council meeting. Adjustment to capital budget. Adjustment to capital budget.
Yeah, there was a time when it was always the other way. When they estimated something for 5 million and the city ended up paying 10 million.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of switched around. Now, I'll put this to you. Are they being overly conservative so that they won't get stuck?
Well, that's fine. That's fine if they're doing that. But the problem is, this is the accounting. This is their mindset. And it's wrong because when they be conservative, they up our taxes. And they really don't have to be upped. It's like saying the casino revenue is 14 million and it comes in at 20 million. That's $6 million extra they have that they never put in the balance sheet as revenue, which means that when we fall short, we got to pay the taxes to make up the deficit, which really isn't fair to taxpayers. Now they say, "Oh, we're being conservative." Well, that's fine, but we can't be conservative because we have to tighten our belts and not get the pizza every week or whatever because we have to pay 25% more over the last 4 years. So
Pizza would be a zillionaire right now if the taxes were a little
lower. Exactly. So I mean, you have to understand when they bring out these budgets that they're estimates. They don't know what's going to happen. So they do estimates, and then at the end of the year, they do a reconciliation of revenue versus expenses, and that's when you get your facts. That's what it actual costs. The actual cost to do business, to run the city, and to spend money on roads and that.
My pizza money has gone into the reserve. That's not good.
So this is their mindset. We know how they operate now. We've seen it with the casino money, and now we're seeing it with the other money that's there. I figure there's probably, I don't know. Well, they said 175 million in reserves. Some of the reserves are you can only use for certain things, but when they see a 76 million capital reserve, that can be used for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like the casino money can be used for anything, and all we need when we get a 5% tax increase is $3.5 million. That's all we need to take it down to zero. And there's all this money floating around, but they never do. So I'm hoping that city councilors take a close look at this and they say, wait a minute, because I'd like to see them start at zero. Here's our budget for this year. We're going to work within our budget. And if we absolutely have to, we're going to raise taxes. But we don't have to in Niagara Falls. There's lots of money there. I keep saying that. But they won't tell you that. They'll just say, no, we got to raise taxes 6%. And that kind of thing. Now, if you want to send a message about this, right, you can do it to this phone right here. If you have something to say about it, send me a text message at 289-994-7560. If we don't get to them today, I'll get to them tomorrow on my show. But read that variance, read that item 9.1, and try to understand it because it gives you the psychology of how this city council is working through the budget with your tax dollars. And I still contend that we don't have to see a tax increase. But we'll see if anybody says anything about it. It's 2024. They probably didn't even look through it, said, But you got to look and see how they're thinking.
If all that money recently placed in a reserve, how much would that really make a difference on a tax bill?
Well, if you can pull it out and pay $3.5 million, put it against the tax bill, it would be zero. I mean, you have a ledger. It's very simple. I explained this a million times to everybody. You have a ledger with expenses. You have a ledger with revenue. Mm-hmm. If revenue doesn't match expenses, the shortfall has to be made up by taxpayers. So you take money from here, casino money or wherever, or the reserves, you put it towards the revenue side of the ledger, and it brings it up to zero, and you have a zero tax increase.
But
that's how simple it is.
I'm being the devil's advocate.
Okay, go ahead.
So the very idea that if we are bereft of that casino money at any time, as we were during COVID times,
sure,
then our counselors have made their budget based on the understanding that they will get X amount of money from the casino, and now we have a huge shortfall because we don't have that money coming in.
Okay, what's casino? Gambling, right? People gamble in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have had 30 years of revenue coming from the casino, and for 18 months of that 30 years, you never got it because of a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, which they'll never, ever close anything down again because of that. They learned their lesson. I'd be willing to bet that we're going to have that money coming in forever. And not only that, any provincial grants or money can be taken away at any time. But they don't worry about that. You never hear them talking about that. They just say that about the casino revenue. Oh, it can be taken away at every... it's gaslighting you. It's gaslighting you. Sure, anything can happen. A meteor could strike Niagara Falls and wipe it off the map. But it's probably not going to happen. Not this week, anyway.
Just a little one like that one across the street there.
So, I mean, sure, you can make a case for all this stuff. What if they take away development charges? What if they take away this grant? The province is broke. What if they don't give us this money for roads and all that? What if we don't get the money for the hospital? What if we don't? I mean, you can play that game if you want, but the reality, with a casino that's been here for 30 years, the reality is we're not gonna see that money go away anytime soon. And if it does, then you know what? We just don't do a couple roads or something. We make do with it. You adjust to the times, whatever's happening.
You're not talking about not getting
the jawbreaker,
the concrete ping pong table. You mean that's off the list? No?
That would be off the list.
Oh no,
the concrete to ping pong table would be off the list.
The sacrifices we have to make.
So I mean, I know you're playing the devil's advocate, but the truth is that over 30 years we had 18 months where we didn't get any payments, and it's not going to happen again. So I mean, it could. Anything could happen, but can you really base your your budget on ifs and you'd never spend a dime. Well, we can't spend any of this money. We got 50 million here. We can't spend a dime of it because they might pull that. The province can do whatever they want. They control a lot of money that flows from the province, and same with the feds. They can do the same thing.
Well, the conditions on the casino money, could you sort of store it up for 2, 3, 4 years and then have 1 year where nobody pays taxes?
You can do whatever you want with it. Now, they'll gaslight you and tell you that there's 5 rules they have to follow, but there's no laws. And you know who made the rules? City Council. And you know who can change the rules anytime they want? City Council. City Council could say, listen, Tiffany Clark, the squirrel, you take 3.5 million out of the casino revenue, you put it towards taxes so we get 0. And there's not a damn thing anybody can do about it. They could blow the whole 20 million if they want. Whatever they get, it doesn't matter. The rules that they made, and they can change. There's no laws or bylaws or anything like that. And if anybody doesn't agree with that, please let me know that I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
So at the end of the day, that's the way I see it. We get increases, and I don't think we should. I think there's lots of money to go around. We've got 70 or 80 million. I think they say 176 million of capital funds we can use. So that's a lot of money, and 3.5 million of it. I mean, just do the math on the casino money. If we get 20 million, take away 3.5 million, that leaves 16.5, right? Take away 5.4 million they already put towards it, that leaves 11. Take another 3.5, that leaves 7.5. They got 7.5 million to play with, and we get 0 taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That's good.
And they got 7.5 million. So anyway, I digress. But at the end of the day, that's basically how you got to look at it, and you got to say, hey, what's going on with all this money and that. But
should the city have a couple employees that gamble all the time on behalf of the
take 100,000 and go put it on red.
Yeah.
So we can double her up, knock our taxes down a bit. Okay, so we got through that. 9.2 surplus land, that's going to be authorized by the staff. It's already been talked about a million times, and they're going to get rid of it. Do you have anything after 9.2, Davey boy?
Let me see. I got to get back to my phone. Oh, darn it.
Okie dokie.
Didn't stay on there. Gotta keep it fresh.
I'm just looking to see if anybody's messaging me here while Dave's looking, so don't get all excited, everybody. If there's anything here, I'll let you know. I don't think there is, but you never know. No, I don't see anything.
Well, the extension of interim control bylaw.
Oh, what's that?
That was they have an interim. This is 8.2, and I missed it the first time around there. Like, this is a city council is going to probably direct staff to extend the interim control bylaw, and it gives you a big number and all that.
Okay.
But basically, what it is it the settlement area boundary expansions. What they want to do is control private, incentivized settlement area boundaries. In other words, neighborhoods and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to put a freeze on that for now. They don't want neighborhoods and private developers to keep going without being subject to the city plan. To do it willy-nilly here and there may mess up the city more than help it. So that's pretty much what they're trying to do, is trying to put a lid on extensions of
the urban boundaries.
The area boundaries, settlement area boundaries.
Okay.
Like you might have, and most of the time with settlement area boundaries, you're talking about walled-in neighborhoods and gated communities and things like that, but not always. So that was interesting to me. They felt that it was necessary to even put in the interim law, and that expires, so they want to keep it going. And it's generally approved by the staff, and I think probably the councils will too, because this can help them rein in unintended consequences of sort of maverick type expansions of settlement areas. So I think that's probably a good idea, but I would like to hear their arguments and why they think it's necessary.
Okay, that's another one we have to keep an eye on tonight and see what they say. And we can move on to 10.1, supporting a resolution that coincides with the province's refusal to pick up recyclables from commercial entities and places of worship, daycares, campgrounds, municipal owned buildings, not for profit organizations such as shelters and food banks.
Yeah.
They said, let them pay for it themselves. We're not putting the burden on the taxpayer. Generally speaking, they have more recyclables every week because they're going through so much food or so much material that they're saying it's just not, they just can't pick it up. They'll still do residential. And if they want them to be picked up, they don't, they have to pay for it themselves, which means taxpayers are going to have to pay because the city is the taxpayers, right?
Well, this resolution by Norfolk is trying to put the onus back on those producers.
Yes.
And you want kind of universal acceptance from all the different communities. And I can't think that they wouldn't in this particular case, because right now you have churches, charities, small businesses, all number of things that they can't get rid of their recycling. We'll have to pay for it to get rid of it, or what'll likely happen to it, a lot of it will just go into mainstream garbage, which defeats the purpose of recycling altogether.
Well, like if I was a business owner, right, then I got to pick it up. I'm just going to take it home and put it out front with my regular recyclables.
Or just put it in a green bag and let them, when they collect the normal garbage, they collect that stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, and it gets into the landfill site. So what you're doing here is you're opening up a situation where that is going to be abused.
I agree.
Businesses and other things that cannot keep up with hauling away their own recycling or hiring somebody else to do it, they're just going to throw it in, or at least part of it in with the regular garbage of every day. And that defeats the whole purpose. We don't want those things in the landfill. Now, the people who have produced all of this, who overpackage everything, are the producers, right? So they're the ones that put the plastic packaging, the plastic on whatever, and all that. And the rule is basically that they're responsible for it, but somehow they're not responsible for it under these conditions. And so every city is ticked about this.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and so something has to be done. And like I said before, if you want the recycling program to work properly, what you're doing now is inviting people to just put recycling stuff in with regular
Take them out by Nathan Sauer's farm and dump them on the side roads.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another big problem. Yeah. Gary Wilkins, the Doja president, he's around town looking for garbage. He goes through it, pulls out names, and then gives it to the bylaw to go and track these.
Yeah, he's done some good work, Gary.
He's done some great work, Gary, yes. Okay, 11.1 to 11.4 is good. They're just like receiving file recommendations. Nothing big there that they're going to talk about. I didn't see anything. 12.1 is something that you'll like.
What is it?
The replacement of the windows in the Armory on Victoria Avenue.
Okay, yeah. I would like that very much.
6 windows need replacement. Wise Guys, our charity group, are going to pay for them.
Oh, good show.
So it's been approved by the Municipal Heritage Committee, and they're looking for council to approve this replacement. It will be unanimous, of course.
Yeah.
And I agree. They should put new windows in there if they need them, especially if they're planning on any kind of program to keep the Armory rather than declared surplus land, which they said they're not going to declare surplus land.
Not for now.
And then see if we can somehow get enough together to refurbish it and keep it going as a museum and as exactly a piece of Niagara Falls history.
Well, we have some of it in the museum, but you notice that upstairs it was where they had all the books and stuff when that open house. I think a lot of that could be repurposed for meeting spaces.
Yeah.
There is a dearth of meeting spaces, affordable new meeting spaces in town here. You can get the library sometimes, or you can get, in our case, we go to the McBain Center for Honeymoon Toastmasters, but we got to be out of there at 9. But if you want to repurpose some of these places for me, set it up with good internet, with big screens and all that. You can have meetings in there. You could have people come in and band practice, for crying out loud.
Yeah, anything.
You know, and make some money that way. So there's areas there that you could use to multitask the place. I mean, you might be in competition with the Exchange because they're going to have to do the same thing.
That's not much competition.
Yeah, I know,
The
yeah.
white elephant. Yeah, it's crazy.
As soon as I walked in there, I'm thinking to myself, it's a nice looking building, but what are they going to use it for?
The medical exchange.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I don't see anything else here from 12 and the 12s. I didn't pick out anything else there. 14.1 was a motion by Councillor Patel to create an annual pumpkin award program to celebrate community creativity. Now, don't we have enough award programs? We got Spooky Awards, Trillium Awards, Sparkle Awards. I mean, seriously, do these counselors have nothing better to think about than pumpkins? We're coming into budget. These are the motions. Why don't you make a motion to have a zero budget? I don't know. This is just grandstanding.
Is there a conflict of interest here?
I don't know. Why
does Council Patel
grow pumpkins?
Backyard full of pumpkins?
Maybe she's got a pumpkin patch in her backyard.
She's invested heavily in pumpkins.
A great pumpkin. But I don't know. We'll see what they say about it at Pumpkin Fest. I mean, oh man. Where do we find these people? I
don't know.
Like,
yeah. And while you're at it, look for $1 million of savings.
How about this, Dave? The Best Shovel Driveway Awards.
That might be good.
The Best Homeless Encampment Awards.
Yes.
We got a lot of them around. Let's make a motion. The Best Homeless Encampment Award.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah.
Nice little shrubbery beside the tent.
These people sometimes want to make me cry. There's so much going on. We got big problems, and they're worried about pumpkin awards.
Well, if you have the pumpkin and homeless award together,
throw pumpkins at the homeless award. I mean, come on, please.
Look at that wonderful white picket fence that they stole from somewhere.
Take the pumpkins, take them to a farm, put them out in a field, cut them up, and the deer will come and eat them. You're feeding the wildlife and helping the deers get through winter and everything. I mean,
horses like them too.
Yeah,
cattle.
Horses' ass. Okay, 15, new business. See what councilors have to say. Maybe they'll come up with the Best Shovel Driveway Award. Yeah, you never know. Maybe they'll take my advice here.
I think there'd be a lot of sort of insider thing going on there. Look, we're coming to your neighborhood here. Do this, and you're sure to win.
I didn't see anything else under new business. We'll see what they bring up as new business. You never know from this group. You never friggin' know. Number 6, ratification of bylaws and applications already approved. I don't see anything in there. There's stuff that we've already talked about, and they're just ratifying them. They're just ending them, closing them off as done deals. Unless somebody objects to one of them and didn't vote for it when it first came around, they might say, I object to it or whatever because they didn't vote for it first time around, and that's fine. That happens, but it was voted for by a majority, so they're just it's gonna go through, and basically that's the schedule this week, Dave.
That's it. I can't see much more.
No. Now remember, the meeting is tomorrow.
I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to the Pumpkin Day thing. The Great Pumpkin. We could do the Linus thing here.
Oh, jeez. No, I know it never fails. It just blows my mind. Nothing better to think about all day than the Pumpkin Awards.
I can't wait.
It's going to be something. It's going to be large. They're real and they're spectacular. That's all I can say. as Jackie Child says.
Well, we could have a vote. Which counselor, which counselor's brain power most resembles a pumpkin?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be giving out the Diamond and Coal Awards this year.
Oh,
we still got that coming up in December. Yeah, so don't worry about that. We're gonna be doing it. Anyway, that's about it. I don't see anything else on it. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 4:00 at NiagaraFalls.ca. You can watch it there. You can watch it on YouTube Live, and you can also watch it on Kojago. On the odd occasion, they actually broadcast it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't on their local channel. I'm going to be back tomorrow with Trash Talking Tuesday. And then next week, we've got the capital budget that's going to be handed down next Tuesday, a week tomorrow. Got to watch that. Wednesday at 4:30, I'm going to a meeting at the Gale Center that is going to be talking about developing the Meteor Crater.
Well, now, I wonder if they got all the tar and glop that was
I don't
seeping
know.
into that.
I think Gary Wilkins and Mike Cushman might be there to ask that question.
I would go there just to see what they would say.
And they spent $2 million already. Well, they probably spent $4 or $5 million on it already. In the budget, they want $750,000 for something the CAO, the Penguin, wants, and they spent another 1 point something. They probably spent $4 million already on it, and they haven't even turned a shovel in it yet. But all the people that live on the other side of the street say the 10-story building is going to shade their property. They're not going to get any sun. And, in the morning,
they'll be over. They'll be booked over.
So we'll see what's going to happen. They're all going to be there. Should be a good turnout there to see what's going on. I got to go. I mean, Wednesdays I'm usually tied up, but I've cleared my schedule so I can be there
So
at 4:30.
Gale Center, 4:30.
Yeah, you going?
If you can, Wednesday.
Yeah, if you can, show up.
Yeah, I'll probably be able to squeeze in. Might not be able to stay for the whole thing.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to go. I got to go to this one for sure. I've been talking about the Meteor Crater for 3 years, and I don't want to let it down. I want to be there when they decide to do something with it. Anyway, check out the city council meeting tomorrow. They're going to be
the first thing you have to do is put a CT scanner right there on this side, looking at you.
Yeah.
Then we have a new job at city in the city is watch Paul Lemire.
So next Monday we'll be in here talking about the meeting on Tuesday. Today they have, I think, is it today? I think they might even have a meeting today, and that's to actually talk about. It's a private meeting; you can't go to it. It's a closed meeting to talk about the capital budget next week. There might be a meeting today. Also, I've got to go through the second 130 pages of the capital budget. I'll be doing that on tomorrow. So I'll be having that on my show tomorrow. Thursday, I'll be reviewing what they said at this city council meeting. Then we move to finally Friday, and we'll do the last 100 pages of the capital budget. There's 330 pages, so I'll do that. And then we'll head into...
And that's the abridged version, too.
Then we're going to head into next Monday where we're going to do the show that reviews the Tuesday meeting, capital budget meeting. And then we'll talk about that on Thursday. And in between, I got Absolutely All Habs All Show. And that takes us to the end of November.
Oh.
Month's done. We move into December in a couple of weekends, right? This weekend, we move into December. So
ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. And then we're going to be looking at the meeting on December 9th. There's another city council meeting, the final one of the year. And then we've got to do our Diamonds and Coal show before Christmas to see what these councilors deserve for Christmas over their past year performance.
What form of carbon do they each deserve? Is it raw carbon like coal, or is it pressurized carbon like diamond?
We'll see. But I know one thing. The carbon tax bothers me, so I'm even afraid to touch any carbon these days, believe me. Even carbon copies bother me.
Yeah, how come there's not a carbon tax on diamonds? It's made of carbon.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I gotta think.
They are carbon.
Mm-hmm.
Do they pollute?
Well, I mean, mining them does.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe the mines get hammered. Well, no, they don't mine them in Canada.
Diamonds. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, we got great.
Oh, then they're paying.
We got great diamond mines in Arctic Canada. Some of the best stones coming out in the world these days.
Yeah, well, you know what? They're paying carbon tax then.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're not paying it in Africa or anywhere where they have the real diamonds, but yeah. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments. It'll be up on YouTube by 3 o'clock for all those who didn't have a chance to listen to it live on 4680Q. What else have I got? God bless you all. We didn't even get to my sponsors. Well, we got the Wild Bills, but we didn't get to Pete's Pizza. If you want a great pizza, you go to Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They're consistent. They make great pizzas. They have wings. They have everything. You can't miss it. And if you need anything fabricated or made, and go to Hamill Machine Company. They've been around since 1948. You can't beat it. They'll do anything you need. They work with big industry, small industry. They work with the wine industry, the agricultural product industry, the food industry, not only to fix their machines, but to make them better. You can't beat that. And they can also help you with any problems you have. And that's about it. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamill Machine Company. And we're out of here. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to see the meeting tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow at noon sharp. Promises made, promises kept. Thank you for coming in, Dave.
You're welcome.
We're going to rock and roll, and we're going to be here next week again. So tune in if you want to see Dave Wheeler again.
Everybody wants to see Dave Wheeler.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't want to throw fruit at their screen?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins, yeah.
We'll see you later. Take care.
Rotten pumpkins at the screen. There's